Hi, I'm Dr. G, Juloot founder. Welcome to Gaming Barosh, my live streaming video podcast show. In the show, we explore how video games affect every aspect of our lives. Love gaming and innovation technologies, the intersection of game studies, media, and culture. Want to learn more about how video games affect our brain in every aspect of our lives? How gameful mindset entrepreneurs reshape our world, and what holds for us in our gameful future. This show is for you. The word Baruch in Hebrew has two primary meanings: ahead or lead, and in your head or in mind. Gaming Baruch in English means gaming in mind. So, mind the games before they mind you. Game on! In the spirit of the brave and inspiring process of Sapir Berman, the first transgender Israeli Football Premier League referee, in our Naming in Mind episode, we will discuss the impact of video games on LGBTQ gamers with Ziv Lavi. What would you give up for one full year if you could keep playing video games, publishing digital information world? You have to give up on something if you want to keep playing video game for 1 year. So people are willing to give up. See the statistics, 67% or more delete food delivery apps, give up Amazon Prime, 66, stop drinking alcohol, like let's stop drinking beer for 1 year. This is amazing. Give up fast food. And it's very interesting to see that people are taking very, they're taking gaming seriously. Almost 69% are willing to give up TikTok over video games. 52 were willing to give texting. And 61% or more willing to give up Netflix.
I can certainly understand that. Basically, if you say like, if now you had 400 years of to live, you work for 50
what would
years,
you give up on?
You have enough money. What single thing can you do you need to continue living the next 350 years? I would say a Steam account, because the amount of content available for gaming through, for example, Steam service, could last you a few centuries. While as Netflix series has only one use, pretty much. You only watch it once, maybe twice if it's really good. In Tech Civilization, you can play different styles, different nations, different difficulty levels with other people alone. Pains, and that's a single game.
50% are willing to give up driving. I want to end traffic as well, and traffic jams, as we say, and 61.8% willing to give up all the social media. So, from my perspective, this shows the impact of video games on ourselves and how much we elevate the importance of them in our daily life. This is my take on that. I think the way that we make video games important in our life brings me to our final item, which is about the Proteus effect. If you search under Google Proteus effect, you will see this kind of avatars in video games. And the Proteus effect is very crucial aspect of designing video games, and also the effect of video games on our behaviors as we behave with our avatars. And an interesting articles which was published on the Washington Post, how video games can help LGBTQ plus players feel like themselves, published by Laken Brooks.
Well, as someone who comes from that community, it's definitely a challenge when you have to deal with your own reality and understanding your own environment and understanding where how do you perceive your own self. The big advantage of games, I would say, is that it gives you the opportunity to explore that mostly as exploring that with you, exploring yourself, doing actions that you sort of don't have to pay the price for. And if the game allows it, for example, in Mass Effect, that you can explore same gender relationships, it just gives you the opportunity, and it's there. It's not. There's no judgment, and there is no. You can safely explore where you stand.
Yeah.
Our society perceives gender as very black and white, male, female, but it's an insanely complex spectrum of different people. I know a little bit about the challenges of, for example, transgenders, and it's very, very complex. It's not something that you can just, it's that simple, blah, 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 you're this or that. The games have not yet achieved where they should be, because, as I said, it's nice that you have the environment, but you should also be faced with the challenges of what happens when you come out to society with whatever identity you're trying to figure out. I'm not entirely sure how one's supposed to do that, but for example, if I knew how my surrounding could react when I decided to come out with my identity, if I had known how society could react, how society be accepting, I would probably have done it a lot sooner. And I think that would have been a better, because obviously each society is different, and when you live in a society that is more conservative, you often would perceive, okay, society is conservative, so I have to be careful. Whereas a person who grows in a very open society that is very expressive, and there's a lot of freedom of identity, or even having a family member who is either gay, lesbian, queer, whatever, would help you understand, okay, this is fine, this is no problem. And I kind of would have liked to see games giving you the opportunity of seeing both the different types of societies, how they perceive you, but how you can always find either people that are supportive, people who are accepting, people who are, and just, inside the game, or even dialogues. One of the strongest aspects of role-playing games, of RPGs, is the ability to get things
to express yourself as you are.
You can bluff as a rogue. You can be intimidating as a warrior. You can be smart or wise as a wizard. You can use intellect. You can use even historical reference, like, oh, I know you. You were in the Battle of Kramos. I was also there. I know how it was like. And then the character would react to you. But I haven't seen that in games related to gender or related to identity.
I think that the article stated a few examples.
First, mainly seemed you could have
that people feel more empowered and more connected to themselves when they play in this in the character that present their gender choice, even if it's la'atab. I don't know, in Hebrew it said la'atab. I don't know how it's in English. And they feel more empowered, that the game itself offers them the ability to operate with their avatar, with their gender preferences, and they feel empowered of it, and also see it as an example of how they can bring the behavior and bring the relationship that come out within the games to the real world. So this is the impetus effect is really interesting in the sense that it's not only affect the way that you operate your avatar, but it's also affect the behaviors and the mindset of that you have in real life. And this is really interesting. And the article states few examples of it. And I think it's what do you think about it? How empowering is it to play in different and also experience different character in different gender and different mindset?
Well, I think it's a good step in the right direction. But from what I understood from the article is that the game actually you predetermine it.
Yes.
It is not something that you build out of not knowing where you stand. So if I come and say like, there is some problem regarding the choice part here. The game by itself
it's fixed according to the cultural. I'm not saying misconception, but the cultural guidance and cultural mindset that you have about gender and about interracial, it's fixed within the one that program and design the games. But if you allow, and this is, I think the article stated a few games, starting from The Sims up to The Last of Us, that within the game, the developers afforded character that is with different gender preferences. It's empower the player, and you can choose to play this kind of the character. So it's really empowering. There's a problem in the. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Preset. It's pre-programmed.
Pre-programmed, right? Yes.
Yeah. So
you think you think it's a problem, or you think it's something that game developers and the community of gamers, which affect also the game industry, should try for change the situation?
I think
we present our avatar, what option that we have when we're creating and operating with the avatars in virtual worlds and virtual games.
I would take actually an example from a TV series that started showing up a few years ago. Do you remember She-Ra from the 80s? Do you remember He-Man?
He-Man, okay, sounds familiar, but I'm not recalling it. But what was the
back in the 80s, a cartoon where a guy had this sword, and when he yelled something, it turned into this superhero.
Okay, like the Proteus effect is actually based on the Greek myth about shape-shifting to different kind of creatures. This is the Proteus effect originally came from.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm talking about.
So what reminds you about this special TV series?
Okay, so back in the 80s, we had a show called He-Man, and then later on there was a spin-off called She-Ra. Okay. And then they did a remake of the series a few years back. And while it starts as a very childish TV series, it has a very interesting way of depicting gender and romantic relationships. They just take it on the stage. And they say, this is as normal as anything else. Mm-hmm. It's not that you choose to play a character who is into same-sex, or you play a character that is unsure of where they stand. No, it's relationship is relationship is relationship. So there is one guy who has two dads. There are two fairies who are a couple. Two female fairies, or whatever they are. I don't even know if they're
whatever you like, man to man, man to woman, woman to woman,
whatever.
Woman.
Even just exploring different types of relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's everything is. This is sort of like what I want. What I would like to see games explored. So if you go, for example, you play the scene, go into a bar, you can interact with anyone in any month. I don't want it to predetermine. I want it to be explored. I want it when I go into the bar and I see an interesting person, I can come up to them and start having a conversation and see where it's going to.
So you think that we should, if we wrap it up, you think that the article stated a very interesting viewpoint about the protest effect about on our perception of ourselves, gender perception and different kind of perception, and you think, if I'm correctly, if I'm wrong, heard in your word echoing the need for bring more self-expression opportunities for gamers, also to explore the interaction, also for their exploration to design their own avatar appearance and attitudes within the game itself. Cool. Ziv, first of all, thank you very much for your openness and your, I would say, professional point of view about gaming and also this kind of issue. It's really a big issue with all the misconception about a lot of stuff, including gender, race, and all of this stuff, all other things. And I just mentioned, and you are too humble to state, but your rank in World of Warcraft is in your highest level rank was 85, I think?
Or 60 again, but it used to be 120.
Oh my God. So you know what you're talking about from the field itself, from the video games, MMORPG. So first of all, I want to thank you very much for participating in this special edition of Gaming Barosh, a video game affect our life. It's our second season. We are upgraded to this kind of using cool software like StreamYard, which I love, and hope to see you in some of our next programs. Sure. So thank you very much. Have a safe stay in TLV, and
thank you.
Game on. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Game on.